Okay, so I already said that the Boys season 5 episode 4 was completely underwhelming, and it was, for me, it was even a huge disappointment, to be honest. But of course, there were two very important parts that I really liked. The one I already talked about, like, when Soldier Boy is like, when like Billy Butcher is watching a clip of Soldier Boy, like, how he was, how his treatments happened with the Russians and all. So that is according to plot. But there's another very important detail in this episode, and that detail just sums up the whole philosophy of, in the broader sense, like what a superhero is, what means, what is a superhero supposed to be, like if you have to be, like if you have to take the context according to the writers of this show and the whole Hollywood industry. But honestly, like what a real superhero is supposed to be, the whole philosophy of this superhero, and especially the superhero generation, of the people that we are, we have been watching superhero movies since our childhood, like my generation with Spider-Man, X-Men. And so in that scene, the scene that I'm talking about is when Billy Butcher sees Homelander trapped in a cage filled with uranium, and Homelander cannot get out of it that easily. And so Billy Butcher says a very important dialogue, and that dialogue is extremely beautiful, first of all, but at the same time it sums up the whole, I'm talking about, it sums up the whole philosophy of like superhero, the ideology of what a superhero is supposed to be. And the dialogue is that you I don't completely exactly remember it, but the dialogue is like that you thought that means, you got some steroids in it yourself, and you think that you are God now. And like Billy Butcher says this to Homelander. And like the same way in Spider-Man movies, in the very first Spider-Man, Uncle Ben says to Peter Parker that with great power comes greater responsibility. Exactly that thing that thing is being told to Homelander by Billy Butcher, that you think that because you are completely full of you have got some superpowers, not even even in a real sense, if there was a real superhero, and even if he didn't have any steroids, he wouldn't just be a superhero just because he has got superpowers. The main thing is how to use those superpowers, how to use it for the good of people. That is the thing that makes you a superhero. That is, or otherwise you will end up becoming a supervillain, or not even a supervillain. You will just end up becoming an authoritative, megalomaniac, crazy, lunatic, like Hitler was, like that, so completely like a crazy guy who just doesn't know how to use his power, and who just so that is the whole thing that I wanted to talk about. That beautiful dialogue gives the whole, explains what the show makers like Eric Kripke, what is their philosophy, and what is their whole, what is the whole motive behind this whole TV show that they made, all these 5 seasons. Is that Homelander might have superpowers, but he is not a superhero unless he does not have the strength to do what is good, unless he doesn't have the moral character to speak up to bad people, and to even with all the bad things that happen, unless he does not have the moral character like Batman has, like the real Superman has. And I'm going to be more precise, like the Robert Pattinson Batman has. Robert Pattinson Batman, he is we see him thinking about all these things, that that I will not stop, all that idealism, like the same way, of course, Christian Bale's Batman is also like that. So of course Batman doesn't really even have a superpower, but what makes him a superhero is, of course, with his money, with his resources, he will not get corrupted by anything. And wow, man, I will really, that is the thing about the TV show Boys, that it is sometimes it is extremely disappointing. It is like, what the hell are they doing with this show? But they sometimes do get the essence of the story, the essence of the characters, and the essence of the the film. That means the essence of why they are even making this show. And I'm really glad that they were able to do it for 5 seasons. But yeah, but I would just say that it should not have been that long. And they introduced so many characters. Like in season 4, they introduced Firecracker, and I know it means like somebody who is like following Homelander after Homelander going completely crazy. So that is okay, but not really necessary. So they actually, if they had not if they had not stretched this show would have been really good. Means like the writing sometimes it's really nice. So this whole scene between Billy Butcher and Homelander is just a beauty, man. It's just a beauty. That Billy Butcher is he's straight up telling him that you are not a superhero because you don't have the moral character to be a superhero. And even I'm just so amazed that Billy Butcher, after being through everything, he still has the strength to say this. Means someone else like him, who has suffered so much in his life, he would not somebody else would not have this kind of rationale. He would not even talk to Homelander like that. But he is literally teaching Homelander that, hey, means the reason why you won't be a superhero because you don't have it. You don't have the moral character, the moral judgment. And it's just amazing work, amazing piece of work. And yes, let's see what happens. There will be a big fight between these two, and I hope it's a glorious fight. It has to be. I hope it's a diabolical fight, to be more precise. Let's see. Is there anything else I want to say to this? Yes, of course, like I said already, that so many other superhero movies have been playing with this concept. Like I already said, Spider-Man, Batman, even X-Men, Logan, Hugh Jackman. Wow, man, what a character! Wolverine. So he is also like that. Like in the movie Logan, at the end of the movie when he is dying, he literally says to this girl, and he says to that girl, that his daughter, that don't be like them. They want you to become like them, but no matter how much they try, do not become like them. Do not become what they want you to be. They want you to be a killing machine. And so that was the same thing. If you think about it, Homelander, yes, he was treated really badly. He went through a lot of bad things, but it was his choice ultimately to be like this. He could have become a better person. And if he could have been a better person, the whole the chain, means he is the one who is leading to all the bad things in that universe. And if he could have become a better person, wow, man, it would have completely changed the whole scenario. So yeah, let's see. So very, very, very nice writing in some of these movies, some of these TV shows. We are a generation of superhero movies. We have been completely superhero content. We are of course waiting this year for Avengers Doomsday. So yeah, that's going to come. That's going to be another thing. So let's see. This year there will be, I actually checked, there are going to be a lot of great movies. There is going to be that Steven Spielberg Alien movie. There is going to be that amazing what do you say, Odyssey, Dune Part 2, Dune Part 3, and of course the one and the only Avengers Doomsday. So yes, this year will be completely packed with great cinema. And of course I'm going to watch all of them first day first show, and I'm going to be here to tell you about it. So that'll be fun. Okay, all of you, signing off now.